Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. My name is Leon Jones. Today is Monday, October 3rd, 2016. Tune in to the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show every Saturday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. We had a fantastic show. We talked about unions. Are they still relevant in America this past Saturday? So we're going to have another hard-hitting show where we'll talk about wages. We'll deal with the value of the dollar. Do we have more disposable income than we had in the last 30 to 40 years? The only way you're going to know this information is if you tune in to my Blog Talk Radio show. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. And if you missed the Blog Talk Radio show, they are pre-recorded. So you can always go back and listen to the show from start to finish. We're here to give you that information. Moving on. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information from a professional and mature perspective. Also on this channel, we don't engage in controversial or emotional issues, nor do we participate in drama and unnecessary bickering. We like to keep everything positive because we are giving information out to educate people. So we want to keep it positive. We already have enough bad news. We have other channels that will deliver you the best content on YouTube. Check out Angry Man's channel. Check out Obsidian's channel. Ringo Raw TV, Minister Jap. They do a fantastic job with the controversial issues. You can also catch Obsidian every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Angry Man is on Sundays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. They have good content and they know how to deliver the controversial issues from an intellectual standpoint. Also, if you have a business or topic that you would like for me to discuss right here on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please feel free to email me at lej6521@gmail.com. That's Lima Echo Juliet 6521@gmail.com. Before I go on, please like, share, and subscribe to M. Mitchell. That's her name. M. Mitchell's channel. And Rated R's channel. He's a fellow veteran. They also have good content as well. So, on my show, please feel free to comment. But make sure your comments are pithy. No bloviating, if you wish to opine. Now, on to this evening's topic. The name of this video is going to be, it's basically an overview video of types of workplace discrimination. Now, what do we mean by discrimination? Well, in the workplace, discrimination does occur when it's an individual who is unfairly discriminated against because of one or more factors. And they are race, gender, religion, age, sexual orientation, or ethnicity. Now, discrimination in the workplace creates an uncomfortable and potentially dangerous work environment for the targeted employee as well as other employees. Now, there are many forms of discrimination, and they are all prohibited by laws enforced by the EEOC. That's the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So to protect themselves, companies put an anti-discrimination policy in place to which defines how companies will be proactive in eliminating and preventing all types of discrimination in the workplace. Now, the first one, I'm just going to talk about age. Basically, age discrimination occurs because an employee is basically treated unfairly because of their age. Now, the ADEA, which is the Age Discrimination Employee Act, basically prohibits discrimination against workers who are 40 and older. Workers who are under the age of 40 are generally not protected, although there are many states that do have laws that protect younger workers. Harassing a worker because of their age is prohibited by law. Now, harassment occurs when remarks are frequently and severely aimed at a person that creates an offensive and hostile work environment or the behavior results in unfavorable employment decisions. Disability. Now you have the ADA, which is the American Disabilities Act. Employers by law are supposed to accommodate job applicants who are disabled. Employers cannot discriminate against disabled employees. And that is regarding to hiring, promotions, firing, training, layoffs, or any other conditions of employment. Also, employers are also prohibited from asking job applicants medical questions or require them to take any medical examination before they are hired. Compensation under the Equal Pay Act, known as EPA. Now, I'm not talking about the Environmental Protection Agency. I'm talking about EPA, which is the Equal Pay Act. That's where men and women who are supposed to get the same pay and compensation for the same job duties, and that includes insurance, profit sharing, stock options, holiday pay, and overtime pay. Also, let's talk about harassment. Now, harassment is also prohibited in the workplace, and it becomes unlawful when the following circumstances occur. Number one, the employee is forced to endure offensive conduct in order to remain employed. Number two, harassment is so severe that it creates a hostile, abusive, or intimidating work environment. Now, employers are held accountable for harassment by a supervisor when they conduct results in negative employment action. Now, here's one that relatively new. It's called genetic information. Now, by law, employers may not discriminate against employees because of their genetic information. Genetic information includes the employee's own individual genetic test or the genetic test of their family members. National origin. It is illegal to treat employees or any applicants unfavorably because of their country, origin, appearance, accent, or ethnicity. The law forbids discrimination in any aspect of employment. Now, here's the big one that we all talk about: racial discrimination. That's where there are numerous types of discrimination. Racial discrimination is the type of discrimination that we are mostly familiar with. This involves treating an employee unfavorably because of their race or because of certain characteristics associated with their race, such as facial features and or skin color. Now, other forms of discrimination include pregnancy, religion, retaliation, gender, and sexual harassment. Now, that being said, here's what you do. If you feel like you've been discriminated against, make sure that you keep a paper trail. This is the first thing that anybody is going to ask you. Discrimination is a very hard issue to prove. But if you can prove it, have your discrimination papers or your documentation in place. Talk to HR, get names. Make sure your paperwork is in chronological order, because I had the same instance when I was working for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. So you can contact Human Resources and you'll know if you're being discriminated against on your own recognizance based on what's around you. But bottom line, you must seek professionals who are experts in the field, because sometimes what we deem as discrimination may not be discrimination. However, if you have an attorney, if you have a good HR representative that is on site, and preferably after doing my video about HR, I know what HR does. HR is on the side of the employer. So you're going to have to seek an attorney who specializes in discrimination. I know with my case at the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and how I was unfairly treated, I did everything that I was supposed to. However, the paperwork came back from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, from the Bureau of Human Resources. It stated, well, it wasn't discrimination. So I left it at that. But at that time, I had already moved out here to Indiana, and 6 months later, I got the information back. But again, if you believe that you are discriminated and or sexually harassed, go to your supervisor first. Go to Human Resources. Yes, let me not forget. I almost forgot supervisor. Go to your immediate supervisor. If the immediate supervisor doesn't help, you try his supervisor. But get HR involved. See what they're going to say about the issue. And if you have to go outside the organization by utilizing a law firm, so be it. But make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. Paperwork is better. Emails. Print emails out. Document everything that you believe is taking place. Creating a paper trail will save you. And make sure everything is date stamped, time. Make sure you get individuals you talk to. And make sure you know where the incident and what was said. Once you do all that, you compile a paper trail, you should be okay. Now, you might not necessarily win the war, but you continue on to document if you don't win the first round. Because as long as you have paperwork and you talk to HR and all the individuals who you deem are involved with the perceived discrimination, you have names. You have individuals on record. That's the whole idea. Get a paper trail. That's how you solve it. And if that doesn't help, then that's when you go outside to get a lawyer or an organization or even a politician that can lead you to somebody that can help you with this issue of discrimination. That's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening.